everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host Tom Quee. We are here with a landmark, we had 500 subs, me and Danny. I think we did top 5 Don't Flop battles, wasn't it? That's the one we did. We did a 500 mark episode, we did a 100 subs mark episode. We were meant to do a 2,000 subs episode, but it just sort of got away with us. The fame of Battle Rap Resume is so crazy that, you can kind of get drawn away from it. But of course, we are here, belated celebrations. Like, I remember in The Simpsons, they had an episode that was like the 137th episode spectacular, and it was like making this joke about how it was no landmark. They were just sort of keeping going, and I guess, we can sort of ape The Simpsons as everyone always does. And Danny, today we're doing top 5 URL battles. It's
pretty extraordinary as well. Over 2,000 subscribers as well, man. It's pretty. It's pretty phenomenal.
I'm saying what's up in the sense of, what's up to you guys listening. It's good. Yeah, it's just great to have you on, man, because I guess for people who are listening, obviously, maybe some people who haven't heard us chat, they just listen to the latest video, whatever. You are like my oldest, closest, strongest battle rap friend.
Yeah. So I sort of come on the podcast every now and then, and we have just some great episodes where we just sort of chat about stuff. Very much the Red Band to your Rogan.
Rarer than Red Band, I guess. Kind of like a Duncan, maybe. Or,
quite possibly.
But yeah, we're doing top 5 URL battles, but obviously because, we always chat. We haven't chatted in a little while, actually, and there's been a lot going down in the world of battle rap, and I'm just asking you here, just interested in your opinion. I've asked a lot of people this question on the show, and rightly so. They have said, I don't know the situation, I can't comment on the fall of the Roman Empire trademark, but, you can, man. You have no stake in this world. How are you interpreting, the downfall at the moment?
Of the Roman Empire?
Yeah.
Of the Roman Empire. That's amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
It's, I'm kind of, if so many people are coming out and they're basically just saying that this is Ur's fault, this is, to Ur's detriment, then you kind of have to take it on board after so many people come out and say it.
There's no smoke.
Exactly. There's no smoke without fire. And, I've kind of, there's not much to really say beyond that. And, I guess, has just got to sort of take it on board, really. I guess if so many people are sort of expressing themselves in that way, then you've got it comes to a point where you've got to say, okay, well, what do I need to do to kind of get things back on track and improve it?
Diplomatic as ever, and we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about battles. And before we get into this list, what have you seen recently, battle wise? Any league, anything that's caught your eye?
Not really. I've sort of been off the radar, actually.
Wow.
a little bit. Just sort of been rewatching stuff at the moment. Chilla vs Danny Myers. I've rewatched it a couple of times.
Yeah,
it's
so
just
good. It's
God.
Such a battle. I think Danny bodies it. Actually, I think Danny Myers. It's probably my favourite Danny Myers performance, that battle.
It's pretty incredible. Yeah. Actually, I have to say.
I love his shirt. He has that kind of Greek shirt, of a sort of lion or something a Spartan would wear. Their insignia, it's quite emblematic. I think Chilla has a shut up and say your bars, or no way, is it Straight Out of Boston? I think he's wearing.
Yeah.
There's something about that stripped down aesthetic of RBE that I'm crazy for. And Danny, the sound they make, that kind of, okay, URL has Don DeMarco. RBE has that distant, bomb heard from miles away.
That rumbling, like a T-Rex is approaching. Like someone's loading up a nuclear weapon, like 20 miles away.
It's like a boom. It's just kind of like a very, post Hans Zimmer kind of sound effect. And, regardless of that, none of this takes away from the battle. It even magnifies it in someone like Danny Myers' sense. Crazy. I remember I actually tweeted this bar, because occasionally on the Battle Rap Twitter, which I should mention, at Battle Resume, I'll just tweet bars with a fire emoji. It lets you know I approve of the bar. What do you think of this bar, etc. And I tweeted a bar from this battle. Pistol whip you till the stock destroyed. Your family will be in a Great Depression. And I remember LS Dean was like, I'm not sure if that is a good bar or not. And I was like, bro, that is an incredible bar.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. It is. Yeah, that is a heavy one. Right?
It's the originality, really, and I know that it's kind of contrived and stock. I get it, but in a Danny Myers kind of spectrum, it's crazy. And let's get into it. Top 5 URL. A lot of people that I have on the show, at the end of every episode, I say, what's your favorite URL battle? A lot of them go I don't really, Lux Calico, I think I watched it once to prove some guy wrong. They're not I'm not saying I'm this diehard fan or whatever, but obviously, but there can be this element, getting into it where why don't people like URL?
It's because of the time limit has a big impact in battle rap. And I mean, just not the time of the well, yeah, the amount of time in the rounds, but also like just the length of the video. They're very like heavy going to watch. A lot of them they're done on quite a large scale usually. So there's so that kind of wears you down a little bit, and it's also little things as well. Like the crowd will react quite a lot, and it will and they'll have to keep repeating the bars and stuff. You'll get a lot of overreactions and stuff because it's done on such a large scale. So and it's also you know the crowd. So there's that, and the crowd aside, it's also just a lot of the content as well. Like you won't always get the references because they're quite specific references. So
there are certain sports references in URL battles that I will never know. I just have to assume. Obviously, you get a taste for it as a fan. You're like, oh, this is a player, this is a sports team, etc. But even in these battles that I adore, you know, there are certain lines that I guess if they were watching Don't Flop and someone did like a Peggy Mitchell bar, it's just not a current culture, you know, to a certain demographic there. So we're doing top 5. Just before we get into the list itself, counting down, has this been a tough list for you?
Yeah, it has. It has been quite tough. Yeah. I had about 3 or 4, which I was pretty sure of. You know, that I've rewatched quite a bit, and I'm quite sure that they're in the list. And the 5th one, it was quite tricky. I had to just sort of go with ones that I'd rewatched a few times. It wasn't necessarily like my favourite of all time, but it was just one that I enjoyed. Yeah.
I completely agree, actually. And we did mention this beforehand, like, how's your list? And, you know, I do have a similar kind of, you know, a 5th that I could have done from many things, like, you know, probably like 50 battles I could have as a 5th one, like really lots of them that I really rank highly. But I'm not going to spoil it, of course, but I'm getting the feeling that we'll probably have the same 2 or 3 battles.
I think so, yeah.
Certainly one. Probably.
Once again, we just end up like, because we just think on the same tram lines.
Yeah.
And it's going to come out the same. So just a heads up to people watching. There's going to be, hopefully it won't be too like parallel, but there's going to be some repeats, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, our tastes were formed when we were younger through, like, just telling each other our battles, watching battles together, whatever, and, you know, a lot of the same ones I'm sure we used to, well, one especially we would quote extensive from. So, just before I get into the list, finally, the final tease, you know, as I say, the Twitter, please subscribe as well to us on iTunes. Leave a review on iTunes, please. The reviews help a lot. They seem to have stalled lately. Is iTunes just, you know, sluggish, or I don't know, but if you can care to leave a review, that would be great. With the Patreon as well, everything goes on the Patreon. You can help support us there, of course. Redbubble, and Dan, I mean, you're the BRR logo maker, so you get a split of this Redbubble cash.
Yeah, get a little, kick me a bit of money for it.
Totally, you know, a percentage of a penny. But if you want to support Battle Rap that way, you can buy a T-shirt, you can buy a mouse mat, you can buy mugs, which are going to be on Crux and Clashes, and he's going to add the BRR mug to his kind of setup, so it will be on cam during episodes. Hopefully by the time this goes out, so check out the latest episode, maybe it'll be there in the future as well. But shout out to Hulk for that, very, very cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, in full view, that BRR mug.
just blaring there, yeah, like, you know, that is the, just all those sort of YouTube shows always optimize those sort of spaces, so it's cool to be there. But, let's get into our battles. So, you know, I'll kick us off. A battle that I'm a huge fan of. I think it's an inspired matchup. It's a tryout, I'm pretty sure, for at least one of these guys, but they're definitely starting out here. It's Snow versus Ty Law.
Still, you ain't won a battle, you ain't nice yet. You 0-12 like that Swave Severhead ice bet. Yo, you want Skype? I take out the K, give him his N. Niggas that can spell know he getting sniped next. Won't let a 9 stretch, he gon' get the ooze for nothing like some of these overhyped vets. Let's go! Let's go!
Yak shit. Let me switch it up and spit that yak shit to get on that 248 style. Cause I don't care about X losing the goods, Calico getting killed, or that Lux 8 miles. Cause you find yourself in front of that white boy from Michigan, and it ain't martial law. You gonna see so much firing going on, you gonna need more than a fire martial law. My soldiers are running your shit like the martial law. They gonna be like this white boy flipping when he brought that tech in and bullets started kicking like
Yeah, I'd actually thought of including that, but I wasn't very just blown away by Ty Law. I think it was, which is why I ultimately ended up going with something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Let's go through it, man. Like, what you liking about that one?
It's the individual impacts of the battle. The currency of battle rap today is moments. It's not just good bars or intricate schemes. It's kind of when crowds go crazy or something unique happens on stage, something memorable. And this battle, I think, deserves the respect because in Snow's first round, it has something that I don't think I've ever really seen in, like, okay, you can see it occasionally people like Soul and Shocks, like 2 dual haymakers, like seconds apart. Like it's an amazing display of battle rap.
Yeah, I'd say so. He really goes in that battle, and it's what sort of launched Snow into the URL sphere, as it were.
Yeah. I'm talking about, obviously there's so much firing going on, the martial law, and then the similar punch to in-law outlaw kind of second one.
Yeah. Oh, that's tremendous. Because he first of all, he builds up the martial law thing fantastically,
really good, and the crowd amazing. Love it. Yeah.
People, like, I've gone back to that video so many times just to watch that bit, just because he gets you like hyped up, and then he goes like straight after and does that and like builds it back up again. It's like he just like launched the first punch and then he's like just goes back and he's like reloading his musket to do another scheme.
The reason why it's 5th on my list is because of Ty Law. And I'm probably a bigger Ty Law fan in general than Snow. Like, I just respect his kind of vernacular, the way he goes about things, the kind of off-center punches that he throws. But I agree, he's not very strong in the sense where the crowd aren't reacting. I don't know if you remember in the first, he says this quite good bar. The crowd get the ooze, as in Uzi, and like, the ooh of a reaction crowd, a cooing crowd. They get the ooze for nothing, like some of these overhyped vets. Which I guess works on 2 levels, kind of, throwing shots at the top tier as you're emerging, and also just, kind of a nice ooze kind of punch there. And bar of the night, Jay-Z says, and it kind of struck me where if you're having to have someone just admit the bar's good, where the crowd are actually quite quiet, it just can't compare to the inferno that Snow brings.
I think so, yeah. I am actually more of a Ty Law fan as well, actually, compared to Snow. Snow
general,
had this sort of, like, decline after that battle.
Bad.
Which was really unfortunate, actually. I would like to have seen Snow done much better. But it is what it is. And it's also that thing that just, I prefer Ty Law, but, at the end of the day, it's whoever performs best in the battle, isn't it, on the day? I think Snow definitely lived up to that.
And Snow has one of those incredible commodities in battle rap, a change of image, a compelling image. Fair to say in this Ty Law battle, he looks kind of like a Mortal Kombat character.
He does,
like a Jamaican Rasta white guy. Like,
it's like it's like if a Breaking Bad character was in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, there is a kind of New Mexico.
You do kind of like he's only a few bars away from being like, I can't be all like spelling and shit.
But yeah, I mean, not too much more to say. Like, Snow has that kind of juvenile aspect, like, I'll meet your mother, that kind of sleazeball, whereas Ty Law has a bit more of an efficient, almost robotic, some would argue, and I know a lot of his later battles people aren't a fan of. But yeah, I mean, again, as I say, this was a rotating slot. This is one that I just picked. What's your number 5?
Number 5, interestingly enough, is Daylight vs. Mike P.
What? Really? Wow.
For this verse, I wrote 432, screaming frequency, we alive. Right, I came through with heavy sound. See greatness whenever God moves. So every setup is the Metatron's cube. This is when I triangles with every round. See the pin crack through syntax. Similes, enemies finna be omelets when I choose them for lunch. You think the rap's random, damn them. The energy I'm with is infinity gauntlet. Nigga, it's jewels in the punch. See, I do this.
Them lines on your mug got you disguised as a bug, and trust, I've been crushing Beatles since Hey Jude. You let people beat you. My bad, let me repeat that again. You let people beat you. Like right now. How you the greatest? Was such a profound victim trying to beat Dot against beat Dot and got 30'd with a clown's wisdom. You've been food getting served, but that's what catering to the crowd gets them. But you here for lux, right? You a bum, Light? I mean, how you gonna battle Beloved when you lost to his carbon copy with Down syndrome? Huh?
Yeah, I'd stumbled upon that one. I was actually quite pleasantly surprised about that. I mean, we've talked about Daylight quite extensively, and we're not fans of Daylight particularly. No. But I do respect that he is very good at what he does when he can be arsed. When he's not like dressing up as a fucking box.
When he's not literally arsing, like.
Yeah, when he's not like getting it. Yeah, when he's not shitting on stages and dressing like a box or rapping as a tampon or whatever he's doing. Like, when he can actually be asked to rap, like he's very, very good, and like I can see why people put him in their top 5. Certainly, you've got it. Like the bars speak for themselves.
I mean, what about the obscurity of his bars, though?
I know what you mean. Like he has he does have a sort of a habit of doing this kind of immature wordplay in it. There's not much of that in this battle, I'm pleased to say, but he's got some really great ones. Like I mean, second round versus against Mike P. Is for those who trying to Tesseract crazy, get boxed to infinity. Oh, that's pretty hard. Feeling that. Is this a good bar?
Right.
By the way, in this one, it says, I've got something for both parties. This the diverse.
Yeah, it's a diverse.
Yeah, is that a good? Like, I'm kind of on the fence about that one.
Yeah, it's kind of a grower. Yeah, in those few seconds, it's not.
Nonetheless, even though he stumbles, he never falls. He goes, you feel you a star kid. There's a box in Indigo Child.
Indigo.
Feeling that one. He does like a snake scheme, which is pretty badass.
Of course.
It's a whole scheme dedicated to snakes. It's great.
As if any scheme dedicated to anything isn't, but...
yeah, that's true.
I mean, Mike P, I don't think I've ever spoke about Mike P. What do you think of him?
I'm warming to him. I kind of got a sort of a real deal vibe from him. Right. You know what I mean? He goes for kind of like direct attacks and just sort of, he's a bit of everything, really. Like, but I'm definitely, he's kind of adapted to the URL climate a lot more so than Real Deal, who has that kind of King of the Dot background, who like, and he's good on URL Real Deal, but he's he doesn't really go full into that sort of atmosphere that the URL crowd generate, and Mike P does, and he really pulls it off. I think, like particularly like his Street Fighter scheme, that's pretty intense. Kind of really like he builds it up great, just like in the same way that Snow does, and it's very rewatchable. In this one, he's okay. In this one, Daylight, I think Daylight takes it, but they both perform really well. Like Daylight doesn't do any antics or anything. And he literally just schemes and raps. Who'd have thought? Yeah. Who'd have thought I'd have to say that in a rap battle?
And then I believe Daylight was supposed to battle DNA, and then just didn't show up on the night or something. So it's just like, well,
of course it is.
So it's. But that cool for you to pick that as well. And I dig Mike P as well. I think I like everything about him, but I don't think his punches are very hard. I think he does have those kind of like rhythmic explosions, like the Hadouken thing. But I'm never marveling like at his writing. Like I much preferred Nun Nun. I don't know if you remember Nun Nun. I preferred I preferred his pen. But fair play to Mike P. He's made it.
Is this a good what do you think of this by Mike P? It's Ollie Day dragging in his blood like a Targaryen.
Yeah.
How you feel about that?
I guess,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean,
on that Khaleesi flow. On that. He's a Bargarian, mate.
Just that episode where they went beyond the wall had so many flaws, but
Don't! I haven't seen it yet.
Oh shit!
Don't spill out. Luckily for you, I knew about that bit. But don't say anything more.
Dear viewer in the future who knows the fate of Westeros. So getting back to battles, getting back to reality. Number 4 for me. Again, this was kind of, I had to pick one. I knew kind of what my top 3 were going to be, and they're all there for their writing, really. Obviously, there is the performance there, but I wanted a battle that really exemplified that. that stadium atmosphere that URL has that's so unique, the giant amount of crowd, the beats, the huge splay of people behind them that you're slowly recognizing because you've watched, like, you know, every Summer Madness. You know that white guy, you know Beasley, you know Tay-Rock's kind of fat hype man, you know, you just kind of recognize this coterie of characters, and just there is that raw energy that, you know, is completely unique. We've seen leagues attempt it in multiple fashions. We've seen, you know, Fifth Birthday, Checkpoint, you know, huge events, talking about, you know, your King of the Dot, your Vendettas, you know, or I should say your World Doms, these massive crowds, you know, but nothing like URL can replicate that. And I picked a recent battle I picked Calico versus Tay-Rock.
Call them niggas, tell them we lurking. Tough on the net, but we can see they scared of us in person. We about to build the label up and have all of y'all working. Mook could have did this shit, but he was for the wrong purpose. Cave Dots. Since you joined them, you in the same spot. Look how they slave Rock. He repping like they paid Rock. He should have saved Rock. Now I got him crying at his grave. Back, I'm Bruce Wayne. They flying through the cave. Antonyms and synonyms? Well, if I catch his aunt and them, guess why I'm sending him? I got a shooter named Frank. Land him a Benjamin. For 10 of them, he'll have that ooze spitting like a gremlin. Act feminine. I'll leave you curling. Iron. I have your wig blow out like you went to see the Dominicans. I'm sick of him screaming BMF like you got rich with them. Who told him he was G? His uncle tricking him. Fuck is you talking about?
Oh, interesting. I'm not too familiar with that battle. I've seen it once, but like not enough to really know any of the standout bars.
Yeah, well, I mean, it came to me as something I was watching just as a Calico fan, because Tay-Rock, I just, you know, and this battle doesn't really convince me otherwise, but I do have a newfound respect for him. You know, the writing, just, again, I'm getting back to that writing, I know, but like, it just wasn't compelling for me. It wasn't interesting for me, you know, and there's some bars in here strapped with that D-E-S-K. You trying to learn a lesson?
But what's the S-K?
Some form of gun. I'm not aware.
Some form of stationary desk gun.
A staple gun, I suppose, would do for Tay there. A staple gun, but no, there's nothing really here. There's the flow here, and you get what's called your second round Tay-Rock. You know, your Tay-Rock that's really been sparked out. The Rottweiler who's really going for it. You know, does have that ridiculous energy there. But I'm a big Calico fan, Danny. I had to include a Calico battle as well, just because I love his presence, man. It's very unique.
Yeah, I do. He has a very authentic feel to him, doesn't he, Calico? And he really kind of makes battles exciting in that sort of confrontational way that he raps. Like, you really get the sense that he's like the real deal, which I'm sure a lot of Calico heads do.
I mean, you know, there's just lots of stuff in Tay-Rock's first, when I was looking through it, that just kind of made me laugh. You'll see ours talking like Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, that's good.
Talking that Radiator Springs shit. He does like a breakfast scheme. You know, crack your egg, your bacon strip.
That's okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's not kind of, I'll put the potato on the barrel if you don't give Tay the chips. It's like,
I think we kind of got I think you'll agree. I think we sort of got to the point where we there's a little bit of eye rolling when you hear somebody sort of like rap into a scheme about food and stuff, or like list food in that way when they're sort of saying about how fat someone is in a battle. In a battle.
The endless, no, I know what you mean, the endless multi-stream. But yeah, Calico is fantastic here. You know, Bat and Bruce Wayne, they're flying through the cave. Obviously, Rock's click there. And just kind of, you know, elegance in a certain way, the way he operates on stage. You know, we see, you know, people like Av, etc., who kind of deliver their bars standing and they don't give you anything, you know, as a crowd member. And Calico, it's not even this high-profile kind of arms everywhere, you know, kind of mega fest. It's just kind of the character, you know, the way, as you say, the authenticity that he does this thing with that I really, really like. You know, in this second round as well, Calico, who you've seen demonstrate himself as such a monster in this battle already, when Tay-Rock's round is really strong in the second, you see Calico really impressed and talking to him about it, and it gets you more hyped as a viewer. You know, there is this sense of competition, of kind of sportsmanship as well, that makes the battle absolutely go crazy. And, you know, even like something like that's not even that hard, you know, about antonyms and synonyms. Well, if I catch your antonym, guess we're on synonym. And it's just
that's nice.
Yeah, it's like the venom really he cocks out of his throat at this point is crazy, man. Like, I'm not a big Tay-Rock fan, but I fucking love him in this battle. I think he's excellent in this battle, and I remember a lot of people. I think this battle's got 2 million views in 2 years. Like, I remember a lot of people at the time were like, "God, this is fucking great! Like, this is exactly what you want. This is not, the sort of, I say battle rap bullshit, not even URL bullshit. Just kind of like it's not as consistent as maybe you want it to be. And obviously, it is in your head because you're watching so many, years in one go. But here we kind of have real time stuff, and this is fucking awesome. Really good battle, man, and strong from both of them. I'd highly recommend people check this one out. Mm-hmm.
I'd say so. It's I think I'm gonna rewatch it actually. It's just I'm sure there's some bars that I can kind of remember but not really that I want to kind of revisit with that. I do like Calico.
Yeah, of course, man. And you're number 4 then?
Number 4 is Prep versus the Saga.
We all seen what happened to you on TV. My battle not dropping should be the least of your worries. You was on TV looking like Carlton Banks with a sweater over your shoulders. I'm like, that's just lame. Talking all that jazz till he black and served you with the tray like Jeffrey with the best aim. He left Fresh Prince at the crime scene for the cops. But I just thought of another way to describe that murder. For me to explain is to say he reminded me most of Uncle Phil in that moment. The way you died from those chest pains of just saying.
I zone. A rebuttal here and there. Everything you said, I'm answering. You wanna go left or right? Doesn't matter. I put my hands in. Any cat, I was Jeffrey from Fresh Prince, right? Mm-hmm. For calling me a butler, I show y'all how I clean this man's chin.
Wow, shit.
Yeah. It always goes, and this comes back to this this idea that I've always thought holds true in most performances, is that any kind of performance works best in a small room, and in battles this is most definitely true, and this is a really great example of that, where you see it particularly with 2 up and comers as well, such as Prep and Saga. They're sort of like just coming out of that up and comer phase and really going into the bigger leagues here, and you see some great rebuttals and freestyling. You see has quite an up close and personal sort of feel to it, in terms of like the camera work. The crowd reacts really great, so the reactions are quite funny and they make you laugh. The bar, you get some really heavy bars. One of my favourites actually is the Saga's Uncle Phil bar, where he goes, he reminded me of Uncle Phil in that moment, the way he died from those chest pains.
I mean, chest puns not played out, or
no, not at that point. Anyway,
okay.
I think you can get away with it at that point.
It's Prep's flip, the whole clean this man chin. That outrageous. Yeah,
and Saga's bar as well. You like Aunt Viv after Nikki was born.
Change colour.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's what it is.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, real. Fresh Prince fans will recognise.
It's been a while. It's been a while, West Philly. But I mean, I love the look of this battle. I agree as well. And I don't know about you. I want Prep to be bigger than he is. He keeps faltering at certain stages, but I do really respect what he can do.
I do, yeah. I think Prep's great. There needs to be a revival. Prep was great. I mean, it all went to shit when he battled Chiller.
Yeah,
unfortunate.
So
and really badly. Oh, that's gosh.
Okay, so who would Prep?
But I think he'll come back.
Who would Prep battle if he came to Don't Flop?
If he came to Don't Flop, Bamalam would be pretty good. I think perhaps
Tony.
Mr. Ree would be good.
Well, yeah, that Mystery versus Prep. Yeah, that's quite cool.
That'd be pretty dope.
Actually quite cool. I think comment below, please.
Yeah, comment below on that one.
Who would you match Prep up with? So I'm thinking, Tony. C Major maybe could be quite cool as well. But
C Major would be pretty great, actually. Yeah,
that'd be really cool. But Prep versus the Saga, great fucking battle. So I mean, getting into my Trinity here up top. I really had to have in my list a B Magic battle. B Magic's one of my all-time favourites ever. Full stop. The guy has given me so much joy. His writing is incredible. I love his back catalogue is really rich and very rewatchable. Like, this battle especially, I've rewatched a hell of a lot of times. I'm sure many other people has. I think Minnesota Luke called it one of the best filmed, sonically as well, recorded battles in history, and it is visually as well incredible. I had to go, Danny, with B Magic versus Conceited.
It's be magic, the fall holder, I'm more doper. Don't make me call up the war soldiers, the war's over. Ain't nothing good about me reaching in that Toyota. See Condo and get... I say, ain't nothing good about me reaching in that Toyota. See Condo and get took and that's a foreclosure. Your whole... better. Your style is too plain in the building like the trade center. Everybody can get these taxes like a chain letter. You're gonna see one arm pop, slave sever. For the smallest problem, like hollows from the K stretcher, you can get hit by a tip over something tiny like Mayweather.
Yeah, I thought you would. It's on mine as well,
right.
Actually.
Where have you ranked it?
Yeah, mine's... I've ranked it third.
Third? Okay, yeah, same as me then. We've tied exactly. Talk to me about this battle. What about it?
I agree. I absolutely love B Magic. He has a real accessibility about him. If you read his lyrics and stuff, as I did, just sort of preparing for this episode and stuff, you can follow his lyrics very easily because he has quite a consistent flow in a lot of his battles. So they're very easy to sort of. So if you lose where you are, it's easy to pick up where you left off because he doesn't really change his tempo much in his battle, but which isn't a bad thing because he loads his rounds with so many punches that are really on form and consistent.
Yeah,
and this is a great example of that in this battle, and you get quite a distinctive clash of styles for punchliners as well.
Yeah,
which is really great.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, this is a battle that people wanted for a long time.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
I think I remember we watched it together actually, and we were really blown away by.
Yeah, I remember. I remember actually returning from my girlfriend once. I was getting the train and I had it downloaded and I watched it and loved it. And then I think I showed it you soon after in your room. Actually, I do remember watching that. And I remember you went crazy at the hyper-con react line.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. And also that sex on the beach, this bitch gonna get laid
in dirt. Yeah,
in dirt.
Condo will get tooken. That's a foreclosure. Just really inventive lips. And it's great to see this kind of intimate punchline style of both of them, but especially B Magic, K Battle clips prior and stuff. But, he adapts so well to the stage.
He does, yeah, really does. It's almost seamlessly, actually. What's that YouTube channel, actually, that makes songs out of their rounds? Is it Cheese Whiz? Is that what it's called?
It's called, Big
Cheese
Cheese.
Mix.
It's called Big Cheese, and there's another guy like Tom7. If you haven't checked out, by the way, if you listen to this, if you haven't checked out the DNA B Magic remix, what's it called? I'm trying to find it now, but you know what I'm talking about. Really,
absolutely.
The B Magic version. But yeah, the Big Cheese mix, he does loads of rapper stuff, and they're crazy out there if you find those back where they just make the flow out of. Well, I guess it is a flow, but they put a beat under it. They kind of sequence it a bit differently, and it's it's fucking awesome. But yeah, no, I mean, tons of crazy shit here, and B Magic really, it's that kind of that original thought. Everything's structured around punches, really, in battle rap to a certain extent. But B Magic gets under the fingernails of it and really makes you kind of marvel at how original he's being.
Yeah, he doesn't sort of cut himself off with the punchline as well. He always sets himself up just great in the and then just sort of seamlessly goes into the next one, which is really great. He doesn't sort of take his time with it. He just goes for it, and the way it's structured, it just seems like he's spat 1,000 punchlines by the end.
Yeah, it's like a Jimmy Carr of battle rap.
He is, yeah.
Jimmy Barr.
How many words can I cram into this? How many words can I shave off before I get to the crazy punchline bit?
And I mean, talk to me about Conceited. You a big fan?
Conceited, none. I do like Conceited. Not so much massive fan anymore. I mean, I used to particularly his slow it downs, as you do when you just sort of first getting into battles and stuff. And then I sort of drifted away from it. a bit more. But he's all right in this. He's slowing down. He's got. They're okay in this battle.
Yeah.
He had to burn so much trees. It'll be Smokey the Bear. Here comes out when there's a forest fire. And then just to slow it down, it says, it'll be Smokey the Barrel come out and point when the 4 is fired. That's pretty good.
Yeah, doesn't he have the bow your heads when I'm aiming?
Yeah, we'll bow our heads when we aim. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see he's good in this, and I think like he makes the battle really good as well. But I do think Magic kind of outstrips him a little bit, Star-wise.
I think Star-wise, yeah, Beat Magic. It's really entertaining to watch. Like, he's quite charming as a battler. So he's
a star.
Definitely,
he's a star.
Yeah, absolutely. So he really conceded. He took his time a bit too much with this battle, and he kind of sort of thought people would really react to his bars more than they did, and I think that was it. Sort of ended up being to his detriment.
And Magic second. Some of my favourite stuff from him. To keep the beef fresh, I brought something aluminum for you.
Yeah, I know you like. That's a bit stretched.
It is stretched, but it works. His slur, his St. Louis kind of drawl.
Yeah, it's for you and foil. Right. The same.
Popcorns, if anyone in concession stand.
Yeah, I remember you particularly like that bar.
That's crazy.
Do I? It's really great.
Yeah. Exceptional from him. B Magic does it, I think Conceited works well, and it gives you a classic battle all in all. And visually as well, I like the way it's shot. It's kind of low down. You can see the silhouettes of the crowd in front. The stage isn't too busy. It's kind of smoky, like a great kind of vibe. Yeah,
it looks packed as well, like really rammed full of people.
Yeah, no, certainly. And, crazy fucking good battle. Any closing thoughts on this, man?
Closing thoughts, just I'm glad we've sort of seen the pinnacle of like punchliners sort of finally clash. I'm glad that's finally happened. I think it'll be a long while before we sort of see the sort of a new school of battlers that are clashing in the same way. When we have like two fresh sort of people that are crazy punchliners sort of going at it in the way that this battle is carried out.
Yeah. I mean, there's some big battles coming up. Definitely like Rum Nitty versus JC, which kind of could be on a certain high level, but maybe not as big as this. Of course, this is a legendary kind of matchup between them. Now, number 2 for me is Sue Surf versus Big T.
I know I get a little complicated when I spit for you niggas, but pay attention. This is slow as I'ma get for you niggas. What you about 300 pounds solid? Well, I bet you weak. Oh, you feel disrespected? Well, I suggest you be. I throw his ass in the truck just to let you see that you ain't gotta know your alphabet to find T in the SUV.
What I heard before when I was hitting your thick horse, she told me that your shit was like this short. She say mine's like 6 floors. So it makes sense why she rather ride mine's rather than yours. Cause your name's Surf. Every time she rides, she gets bored. They say I'm scared of Surf. I say Surf who? They say Sue Surf. I say Surf cool. What it do, Surf? Cause Surf get you for what you worth. Because Surf Sue. Me verse Sue, I will murk Sue, and rehearse Sue, no rehearsal, I will hurt Sue, but it hurts to know that I wouldn't be the first to.
Yeah, that's mine. Yeah.
Well, we're clearly gonna.
I think this one and the next one will be the same.
Hell yeah. No, it's definitely not going to be a Cortez battle for me. This battle, I remember, I think I told Soul on the show, I remember like following Soul back when he was like too wisdomy on his Twitter before he was like Soul was taken, like early on. And it was so Soul to be like, hard to find, even though it's kind of legendary writer that you wanted to follow. And I remember finding him and, whatever, he tweeted that, this battle's crazy, and he just shared the sort of hyperlink for it, and I clicked on it, and oh shit, it's Big T versus Sue Surf, and I hadn't really watched a URL battle before properly, and I remember fucking being spellbound by it, not getting a lot of it, but loving the energy, always going back to it, always enjoying it. And now, it stands as one of the greatest ever URL battles, no doubt.
It's definitely in the top, yeah. Yeah. I would not be surprised if people put that as their favourite for URL battles, because it has so much character to it as well, and you get like some really great wordplay, and like just breaking down letters just in that kind of simplistic way but really effective way. You get some just sort of like ridiculously crazy and ridiculous bars that just sort of make you laugh at how insane they are. Like when Sue Surf said he's gonna like take Big T's baby and drop him.
It looked crazy from the top.
Guess you ain't gotta be Beyonce to drop a baby from the rock.
Yeah, I love that shit, man. Yeah, and like the environment as well. It's at hang on, I've got it on my notes here. It's at Burned Rubber, which is kind of a legendary sort of clothing store. Marv One's there, X Factor, JC, Bizarre from D12. And, you don't really see this. Like, this is a common sort of small room sessions, ergo don't flop environment. But here we have the kind of humble sneaker store, even smaller than Black Star, where obviously a lot of classic URL stuff has gone down as well. And it makes the battle to a certain extent, doesn't it? It gives it this energy, this urgency.
Yeah, once again, like, it adds to it just because it's in this small place.
Yeah.
And you really kind of soak in everyone's like reactions and everyone's like, and you can see people sort of rolling their eyes and people like sort of making like snide sounds as well. Like it has that you can hear people's bites. Do you know?
Yeah.
It's quite that's the sort of beauty of these kind of battles, and it really really adds to it.
Ain't gotta know your alphabet to find T in an SUV.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. That's like a sort of 1 in 1,000 bar, really. That like, and it really takes like an experienced battler to kind of find that. You're so
true because it's one of those bars that is absolutely seamless. Like there's nothing on that bar and it's so strong.
Yeah, that's not your like everyday scheme of it. Is a person who can spot. He has an understanding of just what playing can spot a bar like that in the blue, out of the blue. What else? Sue Surf had some crazy ones. Senior prom, your line's too long for the punches.
Yes, yeah, that's crazy.
I thought it was pretty great. With a clip this long, it'll flip both ways, like vice versa.
Yeah, that's fucking insane. Big T is so good in this battle. Like this is I think this is his best performance.
I think so.
He's absolutely crazy in here. But the way he charges up really is what I respect. The way he can kind of like get on his feet, and the whole put T in the ground like a golf course. That whole section is immaculate. Yeah,
it is great, and he sort of rotates as well, like kind of works the room, which is really great. T in the ground like Lipton.
No, T in a bag. Bet he won't give me any Lipton. A Lipton.
Yeah. And then you hear a guy at the back. Ooh! Like going crazy.
And it's like none of this.
I like every night after he goes, when he does that, like, I open the door. Ah!
Yeah.
And then you hear that guy behind him go, damn.
You do, yeah. You do. And the whole build-up, it's like, none of this shit. New Surf, it's a whole lot of... But that ain't you, Surf. Like, the kind of reserve that he goes down to, it's like, the change in character is crazy.
Yeah, he goes, these guys from Jersey Shore bitches. Jimmy, Sammy, and Snooky. And then people kind of, like, laugh at it like, oh, that was a cheeky line.
Yeah. Crazy fucking battle. Adore this battle. I think there's just, like, these guys were really coming up at the time. It's one of those battles, like, a landmark for me. As a fan, like, really got me into the league as a whole. This battle, I think, was the main thing. Just, I think it's sensational. It's aged really fucking well. Well, it's aged like nothing. Like, it's fresh as it came out. Like, it's an incredibly good battle. And, I mean, Danny, let me just take a stab in the dark. Your favourite URL battle is Chiller versus JC?
I hit her on Twitter. Got at his BM through a DM in that bird blue. Now, regardless of how Black Planet, we mob, nigga, violate my space, and he gon' always have to watch his back like Tom Pitch. See, that's Chiller. The Boston battle scene is the worst thing popping. You play for the worst team and you the third string option.
But before I say fuck JC and everything he stand for, let's talk about what else them letters JC could stand for. Okay. Jones chillin', Jordan's clean, taking shots of Jose Cuervo. He's a joke cuz he be just crumping like a motherfucking weirdo. If he jump crump, try and shoot me with heaters, he getting jigged, chopped, jugular cut with a blade in his back. Now he Julius Caesar.
You are correct. You are correct. Not just URL battle as well. It's my favourite battle of all time.
Wow.
As well, and I will be so bold as to say that it is my favourite battle of all time, man. I mean, I'm sure, like, I'm open to like change. Like, I'm sure in the future there may be a battle that like tops it, but it is my. Like, definitely my favourite. I just cannot stop watching it. I rewatch it so much. It's endlessly entertaining.
It is.
It is perfect, man. It really is.
Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is my favourite battle ever. In terms of enjoyment that it gives me, length that I've watched it over years, like I remember watching it like in 2013 or something, and like I've just always watched it. I can remember being in different places that I've lived in, watching it, like just loving it, just like kind of, you know, marveling at how fucking good it is. Like, you know, we are kind of Chilla Jones stans, but we're kind of Chilla Jones hipsters. We're kind of Chilla Jones, like, first 2 years of URL prior kind of stans. Like, I don't know, Chilla's kind of mellowed out for me a little bit, but here, he's one of the best there's ever fucking been. JC is someone that I've only became more of a fan of as I watch more of his battles. I think especially, you know, the big cannon battle and, you know, seeing the stuff on that he did with Trez as well, you know, crazy stuff. Craig Lamar was dope as well. This battle is just like, the thing that makes it for me, Danny, is it's kind of like, they both have great rounds and their rounds get better and better, and it's just like, you know, how?
Yeah, they constantly and it is debatable on both sides.
Oh yeah,
like absolutely. Like I think quite a lot of people would agree with that. That it is. I mean, they have their preferences. Like in this case, mine is Chilla. But I will have like I'm quite aware that it is debatable on both sides. Nobody really gets like a firm advantage over the other. Like it really does keep flipping from one side to the other, and you do kind of like wrestle with yourself on like who you think won. Like, because you'll hear Chilla will do like his instrument scheme,
yeah,
and then you'll hear like JC like say like we heavy arm like precious and you're like, oh, that's insane. You're like, okay, I don't know now, but it's like I can like I mean, me and you do like puns all the time and stuff, and we do like categories and stuff, and I can, and if I'm doing it off like the top, if I'm trying to think of something off the top, say if like one of the categories was instruments, I will go through like a Chilla scheme just to remember like all the instruments and stuff, because there's about like 12 in there, so I'll just rattle off quickly in my head, like do it in like about like 5 seconds and stuff, and like right, okay, like tuba, like bongos,
guitar, lute,
like lute, yeah, guitar, like
violin. It's
very like I know most of it like off the top, like just because I've watched it so much, but like I don't know all of it off by heart, which I'm quite glad, because it means like I can, you know, if I rewatch it I can still just enjoy it, because you know there might be some stuff that I've forgotten about, that you know I won't sort of recite every line in my head as it goes down, which is still, but it still has that sort of that effect.
And there's just lots of, you know, whereas Chilla has this kind of very, you know, I guess on the surface level, very intricate, you know, kind of meshing of kind of, you know, ideas there. JC's a bit more the one-liner, not to a B Magic extent, but more like the punches. Even stuff like bang metal, like a train crash, I've always really liked from his first as well. And the closer to his first is so good. They ain't going to have no choice but to turn this bitch from smack to snuff. Yeah,
that's a hard bar. That is a crazy bar. It's you get a bit of everything as well, in some sense, so you kind of see if you're new to URL or battle rap in general, you kind of, you know, you see what's in a battler's arsenal, as it were, like in this battle. You know, you get word association schemes and shit. You get homophones. You get which doesn't happen much, but you get where he flips a bar in reverse. You get punchlines, obviously, more so from JC. You get reverse punchlines where so it's and one day, man, there will be a battler who flips an entire bar in reverse, and it will be phenomenal.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It will, and it will redefine wordplay as we know it.
The first in Chilla's first, I've got it on screen at the moment. I've got the lyrics in front of me. It's such a punch-packed first. The whole rap depression and lack aggression is kind of a sort of nice, sort of entree. Punch nice as Kimbo, and then the whole Payne's window kind of scheme there. Duck these bars, now your life's in limbo is great as well, but maybe a little bit done to a certain extent. The thing that really got me as a fan was the whole bring heat to the Caribbean, it's nothing tropical. Yeah,
that definitely, if the first bit didn't get you, that bit will definitely kind of set things off, I think.
And you see the crowd react. Like, one of the things this battle's so good, you see Jazz, you see Moot, you see John, you see everyone, you see Poison Pen, crazy amount of people there, stars there. The reaction they have to these bars, everyone's just astonished by the wordplay. Like, it's a really infectious, audience.
Yeah, you can tell, like, they're all very, like, seasoned battle rap fans, and they all come there. And they also start... You can see bits where they're cracking each other up because it's just sort of like a chilled out vibe. When they don't really, it's almost like they don't really care who wins. They just want to hear some bars.
Yeah,
which is really great. And I think Chilla's said in an interview like the crowd like helped make the battle as well. Which I definitely agree in this case. And when like he after the second round where he's rebuttaling and like. And you hear that guy at the back go, "I can't hear."
Yeah,
and then like
watch the video.
And then he says it again, and then you hear some guy mumble, "Oh shit, it's a rebuttal."
Yeah,
that's a rebuttal.
Yeah, you can just hear everything. Yeah, it's just crystal clear, brilliantly.
And then when he does the rebuttal, you hear this like massive, you hear this collective, like the whole crowd is enjoying yogurt.
Chilla's like really funny in the first one. The whole Fresh Prince scheme. Like, why would you say window?
Oh, that's great. The Fresh Prince, but you never seen Fresh Prince, and you hear that guy go, "Ouch!"
And then he goes into the, what it is then G, and the whole sort of like what a mildew. Excellent.
Yeah, it's like a dirt scheme, isn't it?
The guy can scheme out of anything. The very fabric of the earth. It's not innocent. And yeah, great stuff from here. And JC's really funny at the start of his second. Let me slow it down. I hate all your fucking schemes. Oh man.
Yes, yeah. He'll be looking over his back like Tom pictures. That MySpace generation.
Yeah. He does that whole F icon in a blue box, F in blue, BM in the DMs. Really, really fucking good stuff. You clown on Chilla. If you battle Chilla, you kind of you're obligated to clown on him slightly in your round somewhere. I can think of loads of opponents that have done that. Tony D, very successfully on Don't Flop, of course. And I remember, we've been watching this battle for years, Danny. I remember I always used to have a problem with the Demi Moore scheme in JC's second.
Yeah, yes, you did. Yeah, I don't blame you. It's quite weird.
Why is he doing a Demi Moore scheme?
I don't know why he did a Demi Moore scheme.
Chilla did a dirt scheme. I guess it's like, I don't know, anything goes, but...
Even by that standards, the Demi Moore scheme is weird.
This not famous anymore actress.
It's like two films he schemes, isn't it? Isn't it like Striptease?
No, it's Disclosure and Ghost.
It'd be like Disclosure and Ghost. Yeah,
it'd be like Pat Stay doing a Sandra Bullock scheme.
Yeah, or like B Magic doing like a scheme about Betty White, this 90-year-old actress.
So yeah, he does the Disclosure and Ghost thing. And again, the bang metal like a train crash in the second. Run in your crib, pop your mom, I'm your stepfather.
Yeah, people love that bar.
Crazy shit. Chilla though with the flip clowning chiller, well, I could do what you can do, but I'd have room in my rounds for filler.
It's pretty good rebuttal, actually.
Yeah.
I have to say. He does like a scheme, and it's in like half a bar as well. He says it's like an R&B scheme.
Yeah.
It's like what I'm aiming, Aaliyah, Babyface on that black street.
Mm-hmm.
Just like 4 references in like on half of a bar.
The whole close range tower in French, you get an eyeful, which is quite cute. You know, Reputeam in the Sky is like a mascot's insane. And then, yeah, like you mentioned, the instrument scheme, which, as a scheming fan, which I know you are as well, one of the best schemes ever.
Yeah. It's really entertaining. So, because he kind of like teases the crowd a little bit at first, and then he goes straight into it. It's like, then it's straight into like, she keep a tuba K-Wag, she's a take it in the ass type, she's a French horn, trust me, whoever bagpipes. Yeah. Off the bass, you be mad hype. They're like, be calm, bro, but you didn't like bang your ass for going where the bongos. I think that's right.
Yeah. And then even piano, lute, accordion, chess, drums, organs, violin. Yeah. You know,
I like that bit where he get like hit his organs and get violin, and he kind of like does a cringe face as well, like, oh, that's that.
I've always read that as he's playing a violin.
Oh no, because I think he's like hit his organs, like, because like I think he's just like reacting to his own bar, and it kind of that's the impression I got from it.
Okay, well, yeah, and then the whole breathe, like the sense of momentum that he conjured in this, like, you know, getting froze in a shot, you know.
Yeah, stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow you with a chopper like a high-speed chase. Insane.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And then we have, and then into like the third round, I think it is, where he does the JC sort of flip. It's I think it sort of brings down the house.
Yeah, I think it was a smart decision. It was a smart decision of him to put it in his third and to just have it there to end the battle with, because that whole section, you know, is incredible. JC and everything he stands for, and then he goes through everything JC stands. Like, it's kind of it's like, if you think on a lateral level, it's like, why is he doing this? But like, as a kind of display of just sheer writing, of which it is, you know, culminating in with a blade in his back, now he Julius Caesar. That's such a like screenwriter's ending that it ends with this like epic betrayal.
Yeah, and he goes into like does a bit of Spanish as well, doesn't he? He's like Jose Cuero, so he's like still JC, like which is pretty great.
Jigged and chopped, jugular cut.
Yeah, with a blade in his. Yeah, Jones chilling, Jordan clean, taking shots at Jose Cuero.
Yeah, it's a liquor, I believe. Actually, it's a drink. It's for our US listeners. Yeah, and then flipping Julian into Nail You Jay, which, similar to the T in the SUV, is one of those kind of, you know, once in a lifetime moments. It
is, yeah, but very similar. Even more so, I think, perhaps. Actually, no, I think probably Sue Surf's SUV is probably more.
Yeah,
I guess maybe. But then,
I don't. There we go. Yeah.
Well, but like, the reason I say that is because, like, with those kind of, all you have to do is just sort of, you have to just look for the word, basically, and find so it's easier to sort of spot and identify in that sense if you know what you're looking for. You know what I mean? You just have to kind of like look at words that are other words backwards, which there are, you know, lists of that online, sort of thing. But it's still, like, that being said, it's still a really like a fantastic bar, and for him to like sort of incorporate it in the way that he has is phenomenal, and it's such like a hammer blow to that round as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's really probably the most impressive moment of the battle, and, you know, he fits on the Julian scheme and kind of continues. I think the round is kind of peaks at that moment. It's a bit of a shorter round in terms of quality. I think the second round's a bit stronger, but, you know, still, you know, absolutely sensational. The whole, even that Virgin Mary, you know, dating Jazz, and just kind of the way, again, just the way the crowd are behaving, you know, like a real crowd, not this kind of faceless mob that you just see outside, you know, 6th birthday where, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, you don't really see the crowd.
Like an Edinburgh Fringe.
Yeah.
Sort of wandered in. Some guy just was in. He's like, I wanted to buy a Nike. What's this? What's going on, man? It's like this credible scheme.
But yeah, I mean, JC Chiller obviously is, on our number one there, and obviously that's our number one. Number two was Sue Surf and Sue Surf versus Big T. Number three, we both obviously went again with Conceited versus B Magic. What was number four for you again, man? It was Prep Saga, wasn't it?
Yeah, Saga.
Prep Saga, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
that was
I'm trying to think, yeah. And then I myself went with Calico Tay-Rock, and then I had Snow Ty Law. And number five for you was Day versus Mike P, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's just that one I just sort of enjoyed recently. I thought it was quite good. I thought the material was very good in it. I thought Mike P's performance was quite solid. Not too many big haymakers from Mike P, but still a great performance. Daylight, his writing was on form. It's I've tried to sort of mix it up and have some different battles with lots of different battlers in there that kind of make up that I genuinely thought were really great. Otherwise, I'd end up putting like about 3 Chiller battles in there just because like he's I'd end up putting like just Magic Chiller and Chiller versus M City.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that was Poison Pen anyway. That wouldn't be URL, would it?
Well, it was uploaded on URL, so I guess we could, it wouldn't really matter.
So.
But obviously this is our URL top 5, but just as a way of wrapping up, obviously we've done 2 editions before that I want to urge people to listen to. Our 500 sub special, which is a Don't Flop one. So here's because I put them in the description, so thankfully I can just review them right now. Here were our top 5s, by the way. Here's was Danny's top 5. Obviously this could have changed, so, at the time this was his top 5. Number 5, O'Shea versus Censor.
Oh.
Which is, do you recall putting that as 5?
Yeah, I remember that one. I think I'm going to not remember the King of the Dot ones too much. I'll remember about 2, I think.
Yeah. So Shovel T and Marlowe, we'll just go over them quickly, versus Dialect and Zen was number 4 for you. Yunnan Chris Leese was number 3, which is, obviously incredible. Shotty versus Arsenal was number 2 for you. Number 1 was Soul versus Matter, which I was surprised about, but good to see.
I stand by that. Favourite. That is my favourite Don't Flop battle. Soul versus Matter, absolutely.
Yeah. Number 5 for me was 100 Bullets versus Bamalam. Number 4 was C Major versus Ogmios. Number 3 was Chiller versus Math. Number 2 was Shuffle T and Marlowe versus Cracker and C Major. Number 1 was Soul versus Matter. So there are our top 5. And just on the King of the Dot, number 5 for me was Kid Twist versus John to Don, who someone called, which is a good battle, but someone called me out on it because they were just saying that I love Kid Twist and diss John. I guess I get what they're saying, but again, this is kind of like a 5th pick. Number 4 for me is Danny Myers versus Averb. Number 3 is Remy D versus QP. Number 2 is Chiller versus Daylight. Number 1 for me, which I don't remember picking this as number 1, but was versus DNA.
Interesting.
Yeah, so your 5 was Diz versus Cannabis, which I guess that
yeah, very entertaining battle. So some for the wrong reasons, some for the right reasons.
You went with Arcane versus 100 Bullets for number 4, which is an interesting choice. Daylight versus Chiller, which I went with number 2, you went with number 3. DNA versus Diz, which you put in there, which, that's a good choice, actually, another Diz battle. Number 1 was my number 3, Remy D versus QP. That is just a mind-blowing battle.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Did I introduce you to that one, or did you?
I don't know, but I remember maybe you did. Yeah, we just sort of maybe it was you actually. Yeah, because I don't know.
Because I think I remember watching that one like by myself and like just being blown away by it, like absolutely like just by myself in my room, just like reacting to it like a psychopath. Like and I think I immediately wanted to share that with people.
No,
that was pretty good. I think that's my favourite King of the Dot. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, look, so we've done 500, we've done 1,000, 2,000. Maybe we'll come back for 5,000 or something, in the future. What would we do battle rap wise? Top 5?
Perhaps Black Ice, maybe.
Black Ice, yeah. RB
Black
well.
Ice.
Yeah, that could be good. Yeah, Black Ice is a good. That'd give me an excuse to watch some more of them, though I am a big fan of them. Shout out Yardman Wildemez recently.
There's some great battles on Black Ice, and it's an excuse to take the piss out of the sound effects that they do.
And praise.
Yeah.
But
and like just the sort of and the amazing cinematography that they have. on Black Ice, and the kind of sets as well. Like one of them was in a cage.
Oh yeah. QP versus JC was there. Yeah, that was.
Shit gets savage, man.
That was insane. So I guess finally, how do people get at you, man? You got your Redbubble shop, that's right.
Yeah, that's true. Redbubble.com/Dan-Anonymous. You can find it there. Just find all sorts of pop culture designs, and you can find on the sort of stuff that I've done. The Battle Rap Resume.
Yeah.
On the Battle Rap Resume Redbubble as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely, man. That is there's lots and lots of stuff on there, man. Lots of cool designs you've done. Obviously, I'll put that in the description as well. Obviously, Danny designed the Battle Resume logo. Check out our old top fives. Check us out on Patreon as well. As I say, patreon.com/BattleRapResume. Subscribe to us. Let us know down below your top 5 URL battles. What did you think of our lists?
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know what you think about our top 3 as well for the Don't Flop, King of the Dot, and URL. Because they're not very talked about, really. Like, surprisingly so. And I'd like to know what the fans of the show think. Be very interested to see, whether you disagree or not. I want to see what you think.
Oh yeah, definitely open commentary down there. Comment is free, as a broadsheet once said. But bro, this has been great. Thank you for joining me, man.
Yeah, man, absolutely. It's been a long time, but we've finally got all the subscribers. We find it's a historic day for Battle Rap Resume.
Well, yeah, it is, man. But anyway, keep watching URL, and we'll see you later. Bye.